Test, test. Okay, it does seem to be working. So here we go for the February. Oops, 1 second. February 2025 recap. Let's get right into it. This is probably going to be a little shorter than the other ones just because I don't have as much to talk about as stuff as usual. Going a little less intense with this series, I guess. Not doing as much stuff with it, but so we're just gonna get right to it. February 2025. This crazy start to 2025 continues. So not much here. We're going to do a quick channel update. We're going to look at our results for the month of February, and then we are going to look at how the rest of the month, or not the rest of the month, the rest of the year, and the following months, how it looks like those are going to go. So let's just get right to it. So channel update. Finally Hatchet Challenge Day 3. I'm going to move that to Sunday instead of Saturday. Originally, I was going to do these every Saturday. I was going to release them. This week, I'm going to be busy tomorrow, though, so it's going to have to be Sunday. Sunday night. I think I put it to like 7 o'clock or something. But in general, I'm going to try and keep those to Saturday if I can, but if I can't, then I'll probably move them to like Sundays. But we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, so that won't be coming tomorrow. That will be Sunday. Shogai Shinro is returning here in the month of March. I think I have it set for like March 29th. I could be wrong, but that is when I think it is. Yeah, I don't know. But Shogai Shinro is coming back and coming back shortly. So get ready for that. I am looking forward to it. It has been, how long has it been? Quite a while since the last Shogai Shinro tournament. So yeah, we got some good tournaments coming up. So with that out of the way, let's get right to our February results. And January was a really good month. In just about every way. The month of February, honestly, it sucked. In general, this was my second worst month ever since I started this series. So, which was expected. It wasn't anything sort of a shocking bad month like last year in April when I dropped like 5% or whatever. But so I kind of knew this was coming, and I thought I actually did pretty well limiting the damage here. So let's get right to the passive income. This was pretty poor for the passive income. $359. That is the lowest I've had in a $359 is the lowest I've had in a month since November 2023. So that is like a year and like 4 months. So that is not good. Um, yeah, not much to say about that except it was mostly just because of moving money around, and I had a CD that ended about like halfway through February, which was a big chunk of my passive income. So some of that money, so I kind of lost out on like a week's worth of interest from that money, and that was bringing in a lot of money every month. So that and just moving accounts and stuff around. I had tried to do some no, I didn't really try to do some stock trading, but I accidentally moved some money into my brokerage account that I had to move back out. So that was like a week or two that I wasn't making any interest on that. So it was just kind of a disaster, honestly. So down 36.07%. That is atrocious. And yeah, just not good at all, honestly. And looking ahead to the month of March, it honestly kind of looks even worse. Hard to say for sure, but it's not looking good in the short term here for the passive income, um, which I'll get into that a little more later. But kind of some short term pain here. Um, and with that out of the way, we will go to the net worth. And for second month of the year, we dropped 1.7%, which is just under $3,000 this month. So the second month ever since I started this series that I've actually lost money in a month. Not since last April, where I lost like $7,000. So kind of evened out. We're down to 2.57% gain on the year, which is still respectable. A really good January followed by a somewhat poor February. It definitely could have been worse. So I'm really satisfied with negative 1.7% because it really could have been a lot worse. But we'll just have to wait and see. So what happened here this month? All things considered, I think I did pretty well. I kept my expenses. January was like my lowest expenses ever in a month. February, it was not my lowest, but it was pretty good. I would say. January I spent like $900 some dollars. This one was like $1,300, which I've had a few that are less than that, but that's still pretty good. But the big expense that really weighed me down was I bought another vehicle, but I got it for a pretty good price. I think I spent in total, paying for that and registration and insurance and all that, it came out to probably in total about $6,000. So you add that and then my other regular expenses, but I had some solid enough paychecks, so that kind of negated some of those losses and really kept it to a loss of just under $3,000. So I guess a tale of 2 months here. One really good, one pretty bad, but it evens out, and we're up 2.57%, which is that's like 1.25% a month, which is pretty solid. So I'll take it. But so kind of sucks that already in month 2 of this year we got a negative month, but like I said, that was to be expected, and hopefully this car purchase works out for me. If it does, if it works out well for me, that would be a huge win. But we're gonna have to see how this year goes. If it makes it through the year just fine for me, then that would be a huge win and a huge money saver. But we're gonna have to see. Negative month sucks, but in the long term, it's just a little bump in the road. And when you look back since the start of 2024, we've just been on an uphill climb here. So one little drop down, it's not the end of the world. We're up 35.42% on the 1 year timeline, which is basically from February 2024 to February 2025. We went from 121,000 to 165,000, so that's really good. And we're just still moving along here. And hopefully we can turn this little downtrend back around. This chart is going to be interesting. I'm going to try and keep this up for the whole year. Right now I've got the first 2 months kind of plotted out here. This is the gain and loss for the year, but it's a daily tracker. So every single day I'm putting in how much money I've made or lost on the year. So if I had lost money on the year, this would be negative, but I haven't gone below that yet. So right at the very first day of the year, January 1st, I got a paycheck, so that immediately put me up big. And I really barely had any expenses, so it only dropped like maybe like two times. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and then January was a month that I got three paychecks. So as you can see, there's the second one, and then the third one, and then February. So January was a great month, and I got just over $7,000 in profit on the year. February, though, obviously has been a bit of a rougher month. Been a lot of expenses and some big ones. Pretty much right off the bat, we started going down. Um, there was a little bit of money I made off interest. Then the car, buying the car. So that was a huge drop. And then right after that, I did get paid though. But then, had other expenses, paying for gas, paying for the insurance for it, all that stuff. So brought me back down. But today I did get paid again, so that bumps us back up a little bit. We're up just over 4,000, like 100 some dollars on the year. So that's still solid, and we're starting to climb our way back up out of this. So I'm gonna try and keep up this kind of chart here for as long as I can. It'll be kind of cool to see. I've done this before for a month or two, keeping track of it daily. But I think it would be cool to see it for the whole year, if I can do that. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. Um, you know, these monthly ones are nice, but I think it would be kind of cool to see it on like a daily one. But we're gonna have to wait and see. So that has been February, bit of a rocky month. Um, as for the March and future outlook, the passive income, it's looking pretty bad on the short term. On the long term, though, it's looking pretty good actually. So let me go back here to the passive income. Um, February had, like I said before, some of the few things that made February a bad month. March is honestly, I'm thinking it's going to be worse. Um, this March could maybe approach some of the all time lows record here, um, because I have opened up a new bank account with a different bank. And I am getting a higher interest rate on that. With my Ally Bank one, I'm getting like 3.63%, I think, at the moment. With this new one, I'm getting like 4.5%, or 4.4, I think, actually. Yeah. Um, and I get that rate for a few months, and hopefully I can keep it up for a while. But it mostly came down to the timing of when I did it, and because the timing that each of the banks pay out is different. So I really switched at a bad time, and that's why this next one in March might be even lower, just because of the bad timing of it all. But with that being said, once we get through March, um, the future looks pretty good. I think we're going to see a bad month here in March, but then after that, I think we should be right up to around these levels again, that we kind of saw here, November, December, and January, if not higher even, actually. Um, you know, so short term pain here for the passive income here for February and probably March. But I would say after that, because it doesn't seem like interest rates are going to fall that rapidly. There could be one interest rate cut here coming up in the next few months, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. That's always uncertain, but even if there is, I should still do pretty good here. Yeah, I would say once we get to like April and May, we're going to be back up to these levels again. So, yeah, short term, not looking good for the passive income, but on a longer time horizon, it's looking pretty good actually. Um, so I think, um, you know, this is one of those situations where, maybe in the past I would have looked at this and panicked and thought, oh gosh, this is bad. What do I do? But I think I know from experience that you just gotta weather the storm here, and it'll work out. So I'm not too worried about it. Um, then for the next month, work and income uncertainty and changes could be interesting. I am going to be becoming full time at my job very soon, within the next month, I believe. There is a chance this could take longer than a month, and that would push me back into April, which could kind of. I know I've kind of said these first 3 months are going to be the big months. If I can get through that, I should have a clearer picture for the rest of the year. But there's a chance this could kind of extend into April a little bit. Um, so we'll have to see. It really just comes down to what is my income going to look like, and that's the real uncertainty here, and that's what's really going to set the tone for the rest of the year. Um, because obviously, if I make a good amount of money, I got a real chance to run up some profit this year and make some good gains. But if it's not, then it might be a poor year. So it's like I said, I have a vague idea of how it might be, but I don't want to say anything if I don't really know for sure. So I don't really know what my income's going to look like. And I think I would say, if I had to guess, I think it'll be okay for right now. But like I said, anything can happen, and I don't want to speak too soon on it. I don't want to say, hey, this is going to be really good, and then have something happen and it turn out not to be. So like I said, I think the month of March here is going to be a solid month. I think it should be, no matter what happens. So I'm looking forward to that. After a negative month in February, but March should be back in the positive. But then really March, and it's probably going to go into April. Just sort of the uncertainty of what are my paychecks going to look like after this. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But we're just going to keep chugging along here, and I think it'll all work out. So just gotta, like I said, just gotta get through these first 3 months. Might have to make that 4 months, but we're already 2 months through it, so we're on the tail end of things. And the rest of 2025, there's not too much to say. If everything goes according to plan here, it could be a good year. Like I said, we made the big car payment, so that's out of the way. That was one of the two big expenses I had kind of planned for this year. The other one is going to be my Roth IRA, sort of retirement account payment. I'm going to pay $5,800 at some point. That's partially why this month of April last year was so bad, because I made that big payment. So that is going to happen at some point. Obviously, if I did that today, that would put me negative on the year. So I think I'm going to hold on to it for now. I'm not sure when I'm going to make that payment, but I'm not planning on doing it anytime soon. But we'll just have to wait and see. That kind of also depends on how the stock market's doing. If the stock market has a big crash, then I'll probably pay it to get in, so that it can go in at those cheaper stock prices and stuff. So, but we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, that's kind of uncertain too, but that's really the rest of how 2025 is looking. As long as I just make that payment, that'll hurt. But if my income is solid, I think we should see some solid gains. I think I don't really know what to expect on the year. Like I said, I have a kind of a framework idea in my head, but it's really going to come down to just how much am I making each paycheck. That's really gonna that's what this is all really going to depend on. So, like I said, the next month or two is going to be pretty critical here for setting up the rest of the year. Like I said, when I do get full time, I did mention this in my last one. There is a chance I could get a pretty solid paycheck, paying out some of my annual leave that I have right now, that could be maybe like $3,000 or something like that. So that would be a good boost to get me sort of back over where I was here. Um, March is going to be a high expense month, unfortunately. Um, you know, um, yeah, just things I got to pay for. My other vehicle that I have now, I'm gonna get new tires and stuff put on it. That's probably gonna all that stuff is gonna just to get it ready for the spring and the summer. That's gonna be an extra like $700-800 probably by the end of it. So it's gonna be a higher expense month, but right now for my monthly expenses, my goal has been under $2,000 for every single month, and I've been really crushing it these first 2 months. So that's been really positive. January I spent only like 900 some dollars. February only like 1,300. So I'm really ahead of the pace on there. But March is going to be difficult. So if I can still keep it under $2,000, I'll be really happy. But even if I don't, I did good enough on these first 2 months to kind of counteract that. So that is the February recap. Kind of a poor month, but that's all it was a poor month. It wasn't a terrible month like in the past. So just a little bump in the road, but I think the future still looks pretty good. Um, we'll just have to get through these next few months, and we'll just keep going and see how this year turns out. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys Sunday for the next Find the Hatchet Challenge video for Shalgai Shinro towards the end of the month, and then the March recap. So see y'all next time. I was going to say it wouldn't let me close the PowerPoint.